TCK. Well, happy Thursday, folks, and welcome back to another weekly installment of Kai Plays. As has been tradition lately, we're going to be tackling a little bit more of Final Fantasy IV this week, picking up in our travails on Mount Ordeal with our two pint-sized casters, Palom and Porum. There's going to be just a little bit of setup, so things will be a little bit quiet here for a few minutes while I do get that underway. I thank you for your patience, and we'll begin shortly. All right, and Thunderbirds are go. We'll take a minute here to do a little bit of sound tweaking as we load in, just to make sure that everything's still set up from our last adventures, and then we'll launch into it. Everything looks like it's still set up pretty well. We'll do just a little bit more volume, but background music's a little aggressive, so we're going to leave that pretty low. As you may recall from our last segment here, Cecil has been separated from his party, and temporarily has these two party members, our pint-sized mages Palom and Porum, the black and white mages. He's been tasked with traversing Mount Ordeals to forego his dark knight past and his brooding nature to become a paladin. I think off-screen we did a little bit of power leveling just to get Palom and Porum a little bit more up to speed, and so that I could get a decent feel for how they operate in this port of the game, since again I hadn't really played it since the Super Nintendo days, and at that time I was still fairly young, so I was not the most efficient. So before we start climbing the literal and proverbial mountain here, we need a cottage. Just get everybody full healed before we head up. Oh, that's cute. I like how it looks compared to how the tent looked. Now, what you didn't see, because this was off screen, our little friend Mapping Way, aka Naming Way, aka Living Way, aka Camping Way, we encountered him in the forest, and he offered to buy a tent from me, but his dialogue was misleading, and he actually took all of my tents and offered me a paltry 300 gil and scampered off. So I actually had to go and buy a couple of cottages, and I'm not salty, you're salty. Still, what can you do? I don't remember what I had the twins set for auto battle function here. Is it under abilities, I think? Okay, so Palom is set for auto fire, and Porum is set for defend. If I remember correctly, though, Palom still doesn't do very much damage at all. Let's have a look. It's okay, though, because Cecil cleans house with his last Dark Knight weapon here. Yeah, so even with those being weak to his fire attacks, he's still not able to one-shot them, which I know is a petty concern, but for the amount of time and energy expended, I could just have them defend and have Cecil clean house. Just like that. Or not like that. Okay. I guess that one zombie is stronger than the others. Now, I don't really remember what happens on Mount Ordeals, other than obviously you need to do a class change, so this is outside the realm of my memory. Ah, yes, throwing ice cubes on a blazing fire will solve the problem. Talk shit, get hit. Them's the rules. I don't make them up. Oh, I'm sorry, I just realized the chat blocker's in the way. My apologies. It's Igor wearing a sheet. It wouldn't be an 80s game if the princess wasn't scantily clad and chained to a post. I don't think she's technically a princess, but you follow. Moving on. I wonder if the spirits are still immune to fire here, like they were on the last mountain we were on. Oh no, they put Cecil to sleep. That might actually be an issue. Oh, JK, they woke him up. Time to find out. Yeah, fire still heals them. That's not ideal. Oh, that sleep's gonna get real annoying real quick. $700 HP on Cecil. That's pretty impressive. And yet Yang still had more HP because just monk things. Now I'm going to leave this dramatic reveal for when it happens, but I do remember what happens as soon as I change into a paladin, so that's going to be an interesting time. And then you'll understand a little bit why I decided to level Palom and Porum off screen. Zombies? Real zombies? Now the thing with Palom, if you are going to have a longer encounter, the fact that his spells are relatively weak is less of an issue because you can use his bluff ability, which is, it doesn't require any MP or anything, and it doubles his intellect, which doubles his magic offensive capabilities. The issue with that is that it's difficult to pull off. You can't put that in auto battle. You could have him auto battle to cast fire spells and then manually tell him to use his bluff, or you could have him auto battle to use bluff and have him manually cast fire. But either way, you can't auto battle your way through the encounters and make reasonable use of Palom, which I know is a very lazy reason to not do more with him. But when the encounters take as long as they do, it's you're playing the time game. So it's easier to have him just kind of pepper enemies with whatever it is that he can do, and just go from there. Just top off some HP every so often. I'll have you swap to defend. Overall, these two are extremely MP efficient, so I really can't complain about that. Rydia, bless her, could clear the board, but she did not have an abundance of extra MP to work with. Okay. One thing about this game that I do like a little bit more than the original ports of the first 4 or 5 games, an issue you would run into is the sheer number of dead ends you'd have in the dungeons that you'd encounter. 2 is especially heinous about this, because you'd have you'd hit a crossroads in a dungeon where there were 3 doors that you could potentially pick. 2 of them led to empty rooms, which doesn't seem like a big deal, and the 3rd one would lead you forward through the dungeon. When you entered the door, however, the empty room that you loaded into would spawn you like halfway across the room. So you have to backpedal to get back out of the room, which of course increases your chances of random encounters. So those false doors ended up being a considerable time suck. Here, at least you can wander around a little bit because you kind of want to fill in the map to get the free items, but it's not as much of a random encounter trap as, you know, some of its predecessors. So kudos for that. Ah, they put my boy Cecil to sleep. Okay, well, at least after this, Palom should clear the skeletons, and then we can wake Cecil up to deal with the spirits. Damn it! Damn it! I can't attack Cecil. Whoops. That's the wrong button. That's the one I want. There we go. Now we're in business. Just needed them to wake his butt up. So this thing is, in later games you could choose to cast beneficial spells on enemies or attack your allies. And there were situations in which that was a good idea. For example, if you get an ally that is confused, in which they'll, you know, sometimes randomly attack their party members, which is bad. Or if they get the sleep status cast on them, you could take your white mage or whatever and just bonk them on the head for like 4 damage and wake them up. This game does not have that option though, so sleep is actually a little bit more insidious. You're kind of at the mercy of taking additional damage and hoping that that will wake you up and like not kill you in the meantime. Thankfully though, these guys don't do a ton of damage, so we'd have to get hit quite a few times to be at their true mercy here. I think probably what I'm gonna do, we'll have Cecil attack the back row first, so that we get more juice out of Palom's AoEs. Have him focus on the zombies, you know. This should clear them, I think. Not quite. One more ought to do it. Now, one thing that I haven't shown on screen yet that I did a little bit of testing with off screen, the twins each have an ability called Twin Cast. Whoops, Cecil's got poison here. Oh, he's not the only one. Do you not know Asuna? Okay. Luckily we stocked up on antidotes. Anyway, yes, Twin Cast, unlike the Red Mage ability by the same name, does not actually allow them to cast 2 spells at the same time. And in fact, the name, or the description, is a little bit misleading. Cast powerful spells in tandem. What they mean is that one of them can start using Twin Cast and they'll adopt a casting pose. When the other one initiates Twin Cast, they'll both start charging a cast bar, and when it finishes, they will cast a double casted destructive spell of some nature. Usually fire elemental from what I have seen. But that's their like team up and wipe the map spell, which is kind of neat. But it costs, I believe, 25 MP to unleash, so it is not good for prolonged use. Because ethers don't grow on trees. I think since we seem to be encountering spirits for more or less every battle here, what we may do is just have Palom go back to chilling in defense mode and letting Cecil do the work. Oh my goodness. Cry, which is Porum's special ability, will actually have the defense of all of the enemies on the screen, which makes them easy prey for Cecil, if he is awake, which is a big if. Your sleep missed. What? For the love of God, get rid of those spirits, please. His auto attack actually did kill the skeleton. That's hilarious. Level 20. Now she knows Esuna. Okay, well, we're getting somewhere at least. Oh, hey, it's Tella. It's your boy. That just never stops being funny for me. Now, as you may recall, Tella is avenging his daughter Anna, who died in Baron's air raid against Damcian. So, excuse me. So he's searching for Meteor. It is really good to have Tella back. Not gonna lie. Alright. So with Tella... Oh, they upgraded him to an ice rod when I wasn't looking. That's neat. We don't really have any other gear to give him, and none of it would be an upgrade even if we could. I will say, though, that we're going to go ahead and make use of that little trick that I learned and put him in the back row. And since the last time he has been here, we learned that we can set his auto battle settings. So we can have him auto battle with fire, And we can have Palom go back to chilling out in defense mode, like a Yu-Gi-Oh monster. I believe that about covers it. Oh, and Tella's level 17. Beautiful. Now, I mentioned this in a previous episode, but Tella's kind of interesting because he is the first character who, by virtue of his advanced age, as he gains levels in this game, his strength and vitality scores actually decrease. Because, you know. So he is kind of steadily getting slightly less HP as he levels. His maximum HP isn't going down, but the amount by which it increases definitely is. Now, I am curious about these spirits. I've never tried casting any other spells on them besides knowing that they absorb fire attacks. So what... I thought he knew Libra for some reason. I'll have you defend for a minute. I'm kind of curious if I had Tella casting something other than fire, if perhaps the damage that he was doing would be more effective against the spirits. Kind of speed things up just a little bit. So let's try... Well, they're blue in color and they absorb fire, which is kind of not intuitive. By Final Fantasy logic, I would think that they would be weak to Blizzard if they absorb fire, but it could very well be that since they're ghost-like, that they are just intrinsically immune to magical damage, or at least heavily resistant. Double back there. Did not mean to do that. So we'll try shifting to Blizzard for a battle and see if they absorb that too. Okay, and we didn't get any spirits this time, just to mess with me. That's fine. So what we can do instead is just nuke them. Three mages, one tank. I'd call this a successful party. We basically have effectively a red mage, though not literally a red mage, a black mage, a conjurer, and a dark knight. So, yeah, it's a light party. We're ready for business. The holy trinity of duty completion. Ooh, piece of candy. Oh, an ether. Gotta love those ethers. More zombies. You know what? This is a back attack. I don't feel like dealing with that. The amount of HP you lose trying to, like, recover from getting back attacked it's not worth continuing the battle. Cut your losses, that's what I say. That's better. Except it's all zombies again. I guarantee that if I swap Tella back to auto-casting fire, we'll go back to getting spirits. I promise you. I bet you that's got little enough HP that we can probably just beat him to death with sticks. It seems I was mistaken. We didn't actually lose any strength or stamina this level. Now, if my knowledge of the formula for dungeon layouts is anywhere near correct, we're probably creeping up on the halfway point for the mountain, which will allow me to stop and use a cottage if we need to. All zombies again. Love it. Let's do this. Just out of curiosity. I've never actually seen what Palam's damage is after he uses a bluff. Okay. Let's try a regular fire with bluff against the entire enemy party. Three 400 damage. Yep. So that double damage thing is no joke. It takes a turn to set up, but boy is it effective. Now, one thing I don't know is if the defense down from the cry ability that Porum has any effect on magic damage, since the game does make a distinction between defense and magic defense. I feel like it probably must only work on physical damage, and that she has it primarily to synergize with Cecil at this point in the game, but I could be mistaken. Ooh, piece of candy. Free ether. Always gotta like that. Oh, the shape of this room looks telling. Stop making noises. It wasn't me. If you need any more HP, everybody looks like they're probably good to go. I smell a boss arena. With this much magical firepower, though, I think we're probably fine. There's a disturbance in the force. His Ozzy Osbourne glasses told him so. Archfiend of the Earth. I thought he was going to have a different in-battle sprite. That's slightly disappointing. Let's have you bluff. Let's have you cast fire on everything. I want to see if fire is also effective against the Archfiend before we use my trick with Palom here. Yeah, it does appear to be his weakness. Ooh, but he counters with thunder. Oh, but it's a single target thunder. We can work with that. So what we're going to do... Whoops, we already used bluff. What we're going to do is have him cast Fyra and just have him target everything. Just clear the field. That will definitely kill the zombies, at least. Oh, they're using Drain. That's slightly irritating. Not a problem, we'll just cure. Nutella has this dope ability called Osmos. 700 damage, yes. He can actually steal MP from targets that have it. So I'd like to know if he can steal anything from this dude. Are you serious? We just two-shot this bitch? Chomp! Yeah, so I guess a Palom Fyra is it's nothing to turn your nose up at. And of course he's not gone for real. Oh, here we go. Oh, and it's a back attack. Sweet. Those who see this face must die. Whatever you say, buddy. Whoa. That's rough. Swap rows. Let's have you cure everybody, please, and thank you. Let's have you use Osmos. I would like to see if he has any MP we can steal. Let's have you bluff, because you're going to nuke this dude. And let's have you attack, because that's what you do. Oh, don't do that. Apparently don't do that. What did they cast on me? He doesn't have any MP to steal. Let's have you... Who needs the most HP right now? Actually, yourself, probably. Let's have you do this. Nope, I did not mean to double bluff. Oh, he cast slow on the party. That's fine. Now let's determine that fire is still his weakness with Tella. I would guess that it is. He's undead. Oh yeah, it definitely is. Counter gas. Oh no. Oh, that's rough. And he silenced Tella. Let's high potion Porum. Cecil defend. Porum heal everybody up. Palom. He is also silenced, I guess. Defend for the moment. This is definitely a more pain in the ass encounter. Let's have you antidote somebody. If I can find it. Okay, you need to Asuna Palom. He needs to be able to go back to doing stuff. Like not getting punched in the face, ideally. There we go. Now he should be still under the effect of his bluff, so this should really hurt. $2,000 damage. Yes, please. Keep our HP topped off. God, this is like Aurum Vale. This is terrible. Tella still can't do much of anything. Suppose I could have him echo herbs on himself, but I think probably we'll just have our pint-sized mage do most of the heavy lifting here. We'll have Tella keep himself up with a potion. This might be time to make use of Twin Cast, finally. You notice how there it said sync 50%, which indicates that one of the two twins has started casting. Potion. This would not be as awful without the perma-slow effect. I could live without that. Watching their little cast bar creep up. God damn. Toon casting failed. Neat. Alright, let us go with Echo Herbs for Tella. Shit's about to get real. Okay, buddy. So Esuna, I don't think removes the slow, because I think we tried that like right out the gate. We Esuna'd Palom. 33 HP. Oh, at least if they get knocked out, that seems to kind of clear the slow status. So that's good. Alright. We'll have Tella top everybody's HP off, thankfully. Fire should do quite a bit of damage here. Cecil can defend. Might as well use those potions. They're not going to get any more effective as the game goes on. Oh, now he's going to counter with gas. Damn it. Okay, Tella. Some more Echo Herbs on yourself, please and thank you. Doesn't matter that Cecil's silenced, he doesn't know any spells. The struggle bus, guys. We're on the struggle bus. Just have to hope we're chipping through enough of his HP that he's... Hey, there we go. God, that was awful. That was like... Almost couldn't even enjoy the encounter. 3,000 gil, though, and 7,000 experience points. That's 2 level ups for our mages. That is rather impressive. We learned Toad. Cecil leveled up. Oh, Tella went 2 more levels without losing any more stamina. Thank God. Achievements unlocked. Pockets full and defeated Scarmiglone. This is Sparta. Whoo, buddy. All of the status effects. Let's go with Esuna. Can you Esuna everybody? No, of course not. MP efficiency, what's that? Fine. Oh yeah, I never actually did check what, I think I remember how this works, but what his recall ability does. Attempt to recall and use forgotten spells. Yeah, so as you may have seen, Tella's black magic repertoire is less than that of Palom's, which doesn't make a lot of sense because he's, he's a sage. He's been around for a while and should know a lot of spells. But the reason for that is because he can only remember how to do the level 1 spells at will, but he can cast, I believe it's up to level 3 spells if he uses recall. So he's got a little bit of an element of randomness in there, but he can cast some baller magic. My son, at last you've arrived. You finally arrived, but our records don't show from where. Oh, okay. I've been kidnapped.
Long have I awaited this. The day that you would come. A tragedy unfolds now, which pains me more than you can know. To end it, I will gift to you my light. Though in so doing, I condemn myself to sorrow greater still. But the hour is late. No other road remains.
Is that Gideon Emery, or just a really good imposter?
The time has come. Bid farewell to your blood-stained past.
Sword of light!
Forsake the darkness you once embraced, or the light will find no hold.
Lord help you, he's pretty
Vanquish
now.
the Dark Knight. You and he are one no more. There are two of him.
What's happening?
Oh god, I didn't know they were gonna have voice actors in this game.
Cecil, look out!
Stay back. This is a fight for me and me alone. My atonement for all the sins I've wrought. My test. And one I do not mean to fail.
Now what's interesting is if you haven't played Dissidia Final Fantasy before, Cecil actually can freely swap between these two jobs during battle, which is neat. Cover, white magic. Oh, we know it's white magic now. That's right, too. Darkness. Smack. 13 damage. Okay. So attacking is not the solution. Overcome the hate. Okay, yeah. Wait him out, basically. He's using darkness, which enhances his physical attacks by sucking away your HP. It's the same way that it worked when Cecil was a Dark Knight. So we'll just have him defend through a couple of attacks, and that should take care of it. Yeah, he's doing more damage to himself than he's doing to us, so we'll just kind of sit here for a minute. And we know Cure. Beautiful. We can sit here all day if we have to. We'd rather not have to, but what can you do? Let's go, buddy. Sometime this week. So you may have noticed that Cecil has a little bit less HP than he just did. He had somewhere around 700 while we were out on the main map, and I believe he had a little bit more than 10 MP, although he couldn't cast any spells, so that was kind of irrelevant. Oh, we win.
Your virtue is proven. I will instill you now with hallowed light, formed of my very soul.
You get a job, Crystal.
May it be your strength, though it be the last of mine.
I do wonder if that's Gideon
My
Emery.
son, you must stop Goldberg.
Guys, we're at Final Destination. I think we're talking to Master Hand.
Wait!
Cecil became a paladin. I get it. Truly, I do. We have to wait for the whole fanfare. Come on. Come on. There we go. Tella knows what's going on. He recalled all of his forgotten spells, guys. And now he knows Meteor. Honestly, probably more impressive than turning into a paladin. And they're like, by the way, And then they're like, JK, we're going to hang on to that dramatic reveal real quick. Now, I alluded to this on the way up, and I drew your attention to it when I pointed out Cecil's HP having gone down a little bit. And your immediate thought might be, okay, well, maybe he just has a little bit less vitality as a paladin, and you'd be forgiven for thinking that. But the reality of the situation is that Cecil's now level 1. So that is why they give you these 3 to shepherd you back down the mountain, because that's a thing now. His strength is 10, and I'm pretty sure it was pretty close to 30 before. He has no gear, so that's a thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to have him shift into just straight defense. And we're going to have our black mages here do the work, getting us down the mountain. Oh, yes, let's have a look at his black magic spell, shall we? So level 1 spells, plus poison and osmos. Level 2 and level 3 spells with the agas. Bio, an upgraded poison. Tornado, break which causes petrification. Drain for stealing MP. Pig, because why not? Sometimes bitches just need to be oinkers. And Meteor. 99 MP. Call down meteors. More MP than he has. So, yeah. Good stuff. So, as an old friend used to say, let's make like a tree and get the hell out of here. Oh, there's our waypoint. So between this and our next segment, as you can imagine, off-screen we're going to be catching Cecil up so he stops being entirely useless. But as we have a little bit of run time left, we're going to try to get off the mountain. Now, notice that the minute I swapped Tella back to fire, we got spirits in the random encounter list again. That did not actually kill all of them. Whoops. Let's have you white magic and cure everybody. Now I want, rather than try the scientific method of fuck around and find out, we're just going to cast Libra on one of these souls to get a feel for what their potential weakness is. That should clear those 3 at least. There we go. Libra. Analyze target status. Weakness. I'm guessing that's holy, but it could be lightning. Absorbs fire. 250 HP. Let's try, just for argument's sake. No, so see the element here, excuse me, the element here is different. So it's almost certainly holy that they're weak against, which I don't think we currently have access to. Lightning does an okay amount of damage, though, actually. So let's keep everybody topped off. Just while we've got a minute here. Let's see if we can get some MP back from them, just in case that becomes relevant on the way down the mountain, because not being able to clear things with Cecil presents some unique challenges. MP? MP, please. No MP. Cool. That was the wrong button. Alright. This should clear them. There we go. Cecil just got 6 level ups. My god. Alright. And he learns Sight. Cool. Well, let's use his MP. Oh, and his max HP is already about where it was. Let us use an antidote. For whatever reason, it's been, I think, 15 years or more at this point, but there's a poster in one of the Harry Potter books that keeps coming back to my mind. From St. Mungo's Magical Hospital for Maladies, and the name isn't all there, but there's a poster that's like, remember, antidotes are anti-don'ts unless approved by your Chirurgeon or whatever, and I just, every time I see the word antidote, I think of that. We can probably just auto-battle this, since they're all zombies. Level 9. And he has more HP than he did. Okay. Now he knows Libra now. Alright, he's getting more and more useful by the battle. Maybe by the time we get off the mountain, he'll be somewhere near close to caught up. One can hope. I don't think we fought one of these on the way up. Ouch. Slap me with your tail? It's rude. Still weak to fire, though, so boy, have I got news for you. Ya done. Level 10. Protect. Achievement unlocked. Moves toward the light. What? Curse augment. Nani? What does this button do? Ah. Imparts the curse ability. Imparts the counter ability. I'm not entirely sure what curse does. I think probably when we get closer to a save point, we'll test that out. But let's get off the mountain. Just checking to see if she knows Holy. She does not. I'm willing to bet Tella's, or Palom's, that's even better. Palom's Thundara will probably clear the map. Let's have a look. Let's have Cecil attack, see if he does enough damage to make a difference yet. Beautiful. Okay. They are weak to the Paladin Blade. Hot damn, now we know. Level 11. Now we don't have any armor for Cecil yet, but I'm willing to bet that if the spirits are weak to his physical attacks, that probably the zombies are too. That would make sense. Because I'm guessing his weapon has an innate holy ability. I can't examine it, so I can't find out, but I betcha it does. Boom, just like that. He's not one-shotting them like he was, but we'll get there. Beautiful. Interestingly, does Tella still have his recall ability since he knows all his spells? Yeah, he does. Let's top everybody off before we continue. Home stretch, guys. Nice. Alright, so Cecil's our answer to those spirits, so that's good. Man, it's nice to have Tella back. Now, the armor shop back in Mysidia, which incidentally is where we're on our way to return to, has a full set of paladin gear that we didn't buy before we got here because it was, to be honest, hella expensive. The amount of gil farming I would have needed to do to be able to afford it, especially knowing, as I did, that my level was going to be reset to 1 at the top of the mountain, was just more than I wanted to get into. Because I then was going to have to power level after the fact, and just... nah, man. So I think instead, if we're still short on gil to be able to get Cecil a full set of armor, we'll probably just be able to make that gil getting his level caught back up to about where we were. And since Tella appears to be the first returning party member, and they seem to have leveled him up several times from where he was when we last had him, I'm not too worried about getting out-leveled from where our other party members are. Like Rosa, for example. East. It is Serpentine. We done made it. And Cecil got 11 levels on the way just down the mountain alone. Alright, well that's about all we had planned for this evening's segment. We are at about the end of our normal 1 hour segment. Off screen, we're going to be doing the aforementioned gil farming and getting Cecil caught back up so that we can go and get that new armor for him before we advance the plot. You won't be missing anything in between, but if I happen to stumble upon an event in the field, I will certainly let you know when we return for next week's segment. In the meantime, I want to thank you so much for joining me this week. If this is your first time of this segment, please make note of the link in the description below if you're watching this after the fact on YouTube, or below the live stream. That goes to our current Tiltify campaign, which supports Save the Children in their ongoing efforts against the coronavirus here in the United States. In the meantime, we'll see you for Sunday for our Sunday Funday festivities. My name is Kai, and I'll see you in Eorzea.